Hey, good morning, good morning. So we do have 3 in-house, just so you get an idea. Good morning of what's happening over here. So good morning, good morning. So I'd like for you to close your eyes. You know, in my Green Witch world, we call in the elements of nature to be present in our lives for whatever healing is necessary. And the place that we begin is always at the center. Stand in the center of you. Your eyes closed. Stand in the center of you. Breathe here. And breathe this prana, this breath, into your spine, into your kidneys, your adrenals. We must participate in healing our own bodies. We must fully participate in our breath. And we must fully participate in the conversation that there's so much more to this world than this world. That's what yoga is. This is from the Radiant Sutras, so keep breathing as I speak. This is verse 100. All this talk of purity and impurity, these are just opinions. Beyond them are the miraculous energies of creation. Rays of light from 1,000,000,000 suns illumine the altar of your sky. And rolling blue-green oceans sanctify the air you breathe. In this moment, you are inhaling their blessings. Who are you to call any of these pure and impure? Find the center around which everything revolves. Stand here and be flooded with joy. Return again and again to your center and be flooded. I'm going to add a word, irresistible joy. And that's beyond any opinions that we have. That's the beauty. That's about finding our center over and over again and returning there, because so much can take us away from that. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Inhale for the sound of Om, deep breath in. Om. Release your hands down to your knees. Seated cat-cow, just begin to move your spine, arching forward, rounding back, inhaling forward, exhaling back, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Eyes can be open or closed, up to you. But again, watch how your breath moves through your spine. Healing of this spine and everything that surrounds. Healing of the kidneys, healing of the adrenals, of course, healing of the heart. Beautiful. Just notice for myself when I begin to move in this spinal spiral that I can get very lost in it. Very lost with eyes closed. And in that moment, can you send affirmations to yourself? All the things that come at us. Remind ourselves to affirm the center. Return to the center again and again. Good. And then come onto your hands and knees and continue cat-cow. Your knees can be on the blanket if you'd like, or on a blanket if you'd like. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And again, eyes open or closed, up to you. Enjoy your breath. The overarching theme these days is how to keep ourselves away from any hot, fiery responsiveness to the watery, cooling, refreshing, peaceful energy that we know we are. It's really beautiful. And then come to a center place where you're lifting your gaze forward and you're lifting your navel as well, belly button in. And then stretch your right leg behind you and your left arm in front of you. So just balancing. Point your right toes to the floor. Left arm in front of you. And then release this down into your side. And just notice how much you're drawing away from yourself or you're pulling back into the center. Notice that feeling of drawing, whatever you perceive that center place for you. And then release, separate your knees a little wider, bring your big toes to touch and sit back into child's pose, hips back to heels. Enjoy your breath. Stand in your center. It is enough just to be. Beautiful. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Jenna, turn around so you're facing the front of your mat. And then you can always look to your left or in front of you if I'm not making sense. Yeah, and go slow. Just take breaks as you need. Lift your hips high to the sky. Walk your hands forward. Bring your hands onto your mat. There you go. Beautiful. If you'd like to, you can bend your knees here. You could press your hips high with your knees bent, or even a little cat-cow here. And then slowly begin to walk your feet up to your hands, standing forward bend. See that your heels are right behind your second toes and make sure you're not locking your knees. Bend your knees deeply and reach your arms forward and up into chair. Make sure your heels are on the ground. Heels are on the ground. And then reach your hands onto your thighs and begin to cat-cow here. Move the spine. Inhale as you look forward. Exhale as you round. Nice. And then slide your arms up and alongside your ears again for chair. Rise all the way up to stand. Come to straight legs. Hold on to your left wrist and pull to the right. Push down through those legs. Find this inhale and this exhale. And come on up and switch sides. Beautiful. And come back to center. Hug your left knee into your chest. Jenna, walk to the front of your mat for me, all the way up to the front. There you go. Hug your left knee into your chest. And breathe. Remember, the wobbles are all a part of the practice. They help to strengthen the standing ankle. So never look at wobbles as something that's wrong. Good, reach your arms to the sky, pull that navel in a lot. And then take that left leg back behind you for third warrior. Move it back. Lean forward any amount. Keep your breath moving. Don't hold your breath. Point those left toes to the floor. Yeah. And then bring the knee back up to center and release back down. So it's interesting when you're doing balancing, where is your center? Where do I find that place that I can go back to, whether I'm falling or whether I'm balancing? Hug your right knee into your chest. Maybe your center is your navel. Maybe it's into the heart. Don't worry. The foot comes down, it comes right back up. And then reach your arms to the sky. Pull the navel gently in, and then lean forward into third warrior. Any amount. Any amount. Come back up and release, bending the knees, both feet on the floor, come back into chair. And clasp your hands behind your back. Make sure your feet are pointing straight ahead. And bow forward. Get those shoulders back. Shoulders back. Squeeze behind the heart. Take the arms up and over any amount. Straighten the legs slow. Beautiful. Release your hands down to the floor. Now step your left foot back behind you just a little bit because you're going to go straight on both legs. Left foot back, right foot forward. And hands on blocks if your hands don't touch the floor. Great, Lisa. Yay. My little yoga teacher in training. Good, and breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Thank you. That's okay, you're good. And switch legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. A deep bow. A gentleness that we bring to ourselves. Sweet. And step back to the front of the mat. Hands on your hips, push down through your legs, rise up to stand. All right, here we go again, trying to keep going back to the center. Hug your left knee into your chest. Notice how your tailbone scoops way under when you do that. So press your sit bones back and wide here. Keep your chest lifted. And then press your left foot either into your thigh for tree pose or post it down on the floor, either way, above or below the knee. You can post it on the floor. You can keep the foot on the floor too. That's it. Arms up to the sky. And again, how do you stay in the center when you're falling? Beautiful. See that foot gently presses into the place that it is against. And then release that foot back down. Notice if you held your breath, return to your breath. And return to the center. Okay, try the other side. Called Vrikshasana, tree pose. As you draw that knee up, lift your chest even more, heart lifts. You can post the foot on the floor. You can place it down on your shin. You can place it on your inner thigh. Yeah. What most important, who knows the answer to this? What's the most important thing that's happening right here and now? Yes, breath. but also what your mind is doing. Can I remain in the center? It is enough just to be. It is enough just to be. And then release. Both feet on the floor. Bend your knees, reach your arms forward in up chair. Make sure your feet are straight ahead. And then go ahead and clasp your hands behind your back again. Awkward hand hold to let the other thumb weave in. There you go. And bow forward. Nice job. Beautiful. Release the hands down to the floor. Stepping your left leg back behind you, drop the heel. This time, bend your front knee and inhale the arms to the sky. Warrior one, first warrior. Yep. Make sure your knee is pointing right at your second toe. And then bend your elbows wide, little cactus arms. Like a big gust of air is hitting you and you're just open up to that. Elbows bend, chest lifts, let your throat move back just a little bit. Nice, Diane. And then lean forward until your belly comes all the way down towards your right thigh. Lean forward. Take your arms out in front of you. Reach, turn your palms face up. Yep. And then open and close your hands like you're pumping your own blood. Open and close your hands. Yeah. Imagine if we had to do that. Good. Inhale the arms back up to the sky. Exhale, touch down, hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Step both feet back to the back of the mat, hands on the mat. You can come down to your knees and rest here if you'd like, or come forward to plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Rise up into cobra. And press back downward facing dog. Beautiful, everybody. Do this at your own pace. Take breaks as you need. Left foot steps forward, coming into warrior one. Bending that front knee, reaching those arms to the sky. Bend your elbows wide, cactus arms. Lean back. Nice, Meredith. Keep those elbows nice and high. Beautiful. And then lean forward until your belly comes down to your thighs. Reach your arms forward, turn your palms up again, and open and close those hands. Inhale the arms back up to the sky, warrior one. Beautiful, radiant light. And touch the hands down to the floor, downward facing dog, or come down to your knees and rest. If you want to take it through the vinyasa, move through plank, lower all the way down to your belly, rise up into cobra. That's perfect, Nana. Nice job. Nice. And stepping your right foot forward, we'll come into warrior two. So drop your back foot, parallel it to the back of your mat. Open your arms up to the side of your mat. Lifting your arms nice and high. Left arm back, right arm forward. So change that. There you go. Beautiful. No, you're good. Lena, you were good. Just take your arms out to warrior two again. Yep, good. Drop deep into that right thigh. Nice, Meredith. And then take your right forearm onto your right thigh. Take your left arm over your ear side angle. Yeah. Lift your head a little bit up. Yes. Head in line with spine. Beautiful. And drop your hands down to the floor. Frame your front foot. Spin up your back heel. Lower your back knee down to the mat. Inhale the arms to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Got it. Breathe in and breathe out. We're just shape shifting. That's all we're doing. Hands down to the floor. And take it back, downward dog. Or stay on your knees and rest in child. Again, vinyasa, you can move through the plank, lower down, chaturanga, or stay in your downward dog, or stay on your knees. Beautiful. Left foot forward when you're ready. Come on to warrior two, second warrior. Make sure your front heel and your back instep are in the same line. You're just taking the body into a place where the pelvis starts to release a little bit more. And you want your nervous system to relax, so breathe deeply. So good, so good, so good. Left forearm on your left thigh, right arm over your ear. Make sure that top arm is straight, reaching toward the front of your mat. Lift your head so your head's in line with your spine. And then relax your hands down to the floor. Spin up your back heel and place your back knee down onto the floor. Anjaneyasana. Take the arms up to the sky. Nice, Ronnie. Beautiful, Sasha. Inhaling, exhaling. Again, watching the mind. And then releasing the hands down to the floor, downward facing dog. Good. Walk to the front of the mat. Standing forward bend. Opening and closing your mouth. Hands on your hips, press down through your legs, rise up to stand. And then allow your arms to release alongside the body. Close your eyes for just a moment and breathe. Toss aside your map of the world, all your beliefs and constructs. Dare the wild unknown. Here in this terrifying freedom, naked before the universe, commune with the one who knows everything from the inside. Invisible power pervading everywhere. Divine presence permeating everything. Breathe tenderly as a lover of all beings. With your eyes open, hug your left knee into your chest again. We'll come back into tree pose. So again, press the foot into the upper thigh or on the floor or lower by the shin. Draw that navel in, steady your gaze. Let your eyes become even softer. And then start to bring that left knee forward and come back into that third warrior. Again, staying in your center, just extending your leg. All you're doing is shape shifting. That's it. And then see if you can bring that all the way back up to tree. See if you can bring it all the way back up. Great. And then release the foot down. Beautiful. Let's try the other side. Tree pose, lifting your right knee up. Either into your inner thigh, the shin, or posting. Draw that navel in. Find that inhale and that exhale. And come into Vira 3, stretching that leg back behind you. Feel yourself flying. And then try to bring that foot all the way back up, moving back into tree pose. Release that foot down. Release those arms down. Good. Can you, if you have blocks, we're going to be doing a standing split. So sometimes it's nice to have blocks for standing split. If you want to bring them up to the front of the mat, just in case. All right. So I know it's repeating, but it's okay. Left knee into your chest, tree pose. You're going to be an expert in tree pose by the end of the class, right? It's going to be your favorite pose, even if you're falling. Good. Move it back to Vera 3. Take that leg back. And then slowly, slowly let your hands drift down to those blocks. Pointing the toe to the floor. Square your hips here. Yeah. Beautiful. And then what do you think about coming back up to Vera 3 here? You got to find your center. Find your center. Move back up to Vera 3. Try to catch that moment of balance. And then bring it back to tree. Nice, Lauren. Yay, Mia. Uh-huh. And release that foot down. Good. And again, just check in with yourself. Are you holding your breath the whole time? Hug your right knee into your chest. Navel in. Soft gaze. Arms up. Get longer. Virabhadrasana 3. Take that leg back. Pause in that balance or imbalance. Doesn't matter. And then take your hands down to the floor or blocks, squaring those hips. Hug those outer hips, feel them. Outer hips draw in, navel in as you rise back up to that balanced third warrior. And then bring that foot all the way back up for tree. Collective falling today. Love it. And release that foot down. Very, very good. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Step back, downward facing dog. Come on down to those knees and press back into child's pose. And breathe into your center. Breathe in this vital life force we call prana. Let your body feel this breath as it circulates through the blood. This is the Radiant Sutras by Lauren Roche. He talks about the idea of not attaching to any thoughts that come into your mind. Let them go. So that you're in that place of open space. He says, this is a wild technique. Let your mind wander anywhere it will, but don't let it rest when it tries to stop. Keep it moving. In this way, you do not allow all your mental occupations and preoccupations a chance to spin their hypnotic web. Whenever your mind goes to a pair of opposites, like I like this and I don't like that, don't give it any respect to the distinction. Move on before the opinion even has a chance to shape itself. When you deny your mind anything to hang on to, there's an opportunity to wake up to the nature, the true nature of the mind, which is beyond all its creations. It's not saying don't enjoy the mind, do. But watch where the mind gets stuck. Walk your upper body to the right side of the mat so you stretch your left side body. And walk it to the other side. Just feel that lengthening of the side body, that opening of the rib cage. You come back to center, come onto your hands and knees. If your knees need a blanket underneath them, put it there. Stretch your right arm out to the right, and then slide your right arm underneath your left, threading that right arm under the left. We're doing a nice little shoulder stretch here. You got it. Take that right arm as far as it'll go to the left. Reach it as far as it'll go. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, now just for one breath, lift the left arm up and open up as far as you can go. Open, open, open. And then come on down and switch sides. Super beautiful. Yeah. Feel the tops of your thighs even pressing back a little more. Get that shoulder to go as deep as it can go. You can inhale that right arm up, open the chest. And release onto your hands and knees. Good, press back downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Stepping your right foot forward, lowering your left knee down to the mat, maybe placing your left knee on a blanket. Inhale your arms to the sky again, Anjali Asana. So your right foot is forward, not your knee. Step your foot forward. So Jenna, your right foot forward. There we go. Yep, foot instead of knee. Put your foot, see how the foot is on? Yeah, you got it, you got it. Good, and then hands onto your right thigh and press your knee forward. Lift your chest, pull your shoulders back. Breathe. If you would like to, take your left hand back to hold your ankle, your left ankle. Drawing your heel towards your outer hip. And then maybe taking your right arm up to the sky. Take your rib cage, draw it in. Yes, nice job. Outer armpit back. Now lean your throat back just a little bit more. Nice, and hands down to the floor, frame the front foot and straighten that front leg, straighten your right leg. Lift up onto the heel. Make sure your left hip is on top of your left knee. Breathe here. Ardha Hanumanasana. Sometimes nice to have your hands on blocks here too. Good, slide that leg back in so the foot's on the floor and the knee is bent. And then lift your back knee up for just a moment. Take your right arm to the sky, reach up. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Touch the hand down to the floor and take it back, downward dog, or just replace the knee on the floor. We're going to do the second side. Left foot will come forward. Back knee on the mat. Maybe your back knee is on the blanket. Inhale your arms to the sky. You can draw that knee all the way to the tip of your toes if you'd like. Keep the navel lifted though, draw in. Release your hands down to that thigh and maybe reach back for the ankle. Maybe stay right where you are. Pulling that heel toward the outer hip. The top of your thigh is going to get hard here. So take the top of your thigh, that butt cheek, and move it back. See if you can draw it back more. And then if you have the balance, lift your left arm up to the sky or stay right where you are. Beautiful. Release your hands down. Straighten that front leg. Ardha Hanumanasana. You're coming up to that front heel. Put your hands on blocks if you need. Watch those shoulders. Make sure they draw back. Lots of breath. Stand in the center. Return again and again. Beautiful. And bring both knees back onto the mat and walk your hands up to your hips, hands to your hips. Slide your right leg out to the right, come up to that heel or have a flat foot, up to you. And slide your right arm down that right leg, take your left arm over, side stretch. You got it. Yeah. And sometimes if you look down at that hand, you can slide a little deeper. If you look down at your right hand, you go a little deeper into that side body stretch. Good. Inhale back up, letter T with your arms, reach out. And then let your left hand float down to the floor. Let your right leg lift up if you can. Reach back for that ankle or stay right where you are. Beautiful. Inhale, come on up. And switch legs. Take that left leg out to the left. Slide your left arm down that leg. Breathe into that side body. So important. We get so congested there. Maybe look down if that felt good. Inhale back up to the letter T. Maybe just stay there. That's awesome. Or drop your right hand down to the floor. Take your left leg up. Beautiful. Maybe reach back for that ankle. There's so many little stopping points, right? You go to where you can breathe and stay in your center. You could pull that heel away from you if you can. And release. Gorgeous. And then I'd like everybody to come to lay on your belly. So maybe come into plank and lower all the way down to your belly and then turn your cheek to the side. Relax for just a moment. I was using the wonderful mantra, we are powerful enough to override the negative effects of anything this week. You are powerful enough to override the negative effects of anything. I'll say this week, but forever and ever, amen. Turn your cheek to the other side if you haven't yet. And even feel yourself breathing into your back body. Your kidneys. Maybe even take your hands, make little fists, and do a little bang of your kidneys, your low back. Beautiful. And then slide your hands up into Sphinx pose, elbows underneath your shoulders. Elbows underneath your shoulders. So slide your hands forward, Lauren. Elbows under the ups. You got it. Breathe here for just a moment. Tempting to let the rib cage drop to the floor. So pull the navel in, pull the ribs in, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up and your hips up, knees up and hips up, knees up and hips up. butt off the floor. You got it. Take it a little higher. Think of everything drawing upward. Yep. No fists here. And lower back down. Good. Slide your hands for cobra, hands by your rib cage. Inhale, lift up. Come halfway. Keep the elbows bent for a minute. So you just settle into your spine. And then lower back down. Inhale halfway again. Whatever your halfway is, everybody's a different halfway. Keep the elbows bent. Sink into your spine. And do it one more time. Lower down, come back up one more time. This time you can press to your fullest cobra. Good, and press back into child's pose. Good, lift yourself back up and lie on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Pressing your knees into your hands and your hands into your knees. And then lowering your feet down to the floor and lift your hips up into bridge pose. If you would like to do a restorative bridge, you can place a block underneath your sacrum. Otherwise, just take those hips up, clasp your hands underneath you. Hips off the floor. Make sure you squeeze your shins toward each other. Yeah, power of your legs here. And then lift your chin up so it's not pressing toward your chest. Long, deep breathing. Magic of your breath. Find the medicine that you need in your center. Return again and again. Lower those hips back down. Now come into robot arms. So bend your elbows, making your keeping your upper arms on the floor, palms are facing each other. Take your elbows in toward your rib cage though. There you go. Good. Now press your shoulders into the floor and lift your ribs without lifting your butt. Don't lift your butt yet. Lift your ribs up and then soften them down. Feel the difference. Push up with your rib cage and then soften so you almost feel like back of your ribs really anchor into the floor. And then let your chest lift a lot. Try to keep the ribs down, but your chest lifting. This is almost impossible, but really important. Chest lifted, ribs down, chest lifted, ribs down. Help by doing this with using your arms in a robot. Do not tighten your shoulders. So it's almost like you're in a gorgeous bridge before you even lift your butt up. And then go ahead and take your hips to the sky again. Yeah, from the inside, powerful. Press those feet down, keep your feet active. Shoulders down, heart lifted, ribs light. Keep breathing and then lower your hips back down. Relax your arms for a moment. What does it mean to stand in the center of you? It's often given the picture of a top spinning and how quickly it looks like it's spinning when you get to the center, though. It's like that, an incredible point, the center. Or if you're looking at a yantra, beautiful paintings, right? These beautiful offerings of different deities or of the different planets. And you see right at the center, they call it the bindi. That's right at the point where the eyes can go and become still. Just return again and again to that center place that holds everything, but there's no reactivity. There's just love. Beautiful, everybody. All right, here you have a chance to come into full wheel. Some of you that are here today like camel a lot. So you can come back up to your knees and do camel. You can flip over onto your belly and reach for your ankles, bow pose. So take another back bend here. So you can take your hips straight up. Yep, just like they were. Beautiful, beautiful. You can come up to your knees and take that camel. It's always surprising to me how many people love camel. That's great. It's so great. So make sure your shins stay very active, no matter whether you're in bridge, camel, full wheel, bow pose, nice. Yes, yes, yes. And excuse me, also, hello, here, keep your ribs soft so you're not pushing your ribs forward. And then when you feel complete, come on down. If you took camel, sit on your heels for a moment. Nice. All right, we're going to do one more balancing pose. So downward facing dog, walking your feet up to your hands, standing forward bend, or if you're laying on your back, just roll up and find your way back to down dog. And then walk up and rise up to stand. Okay. You could always, if you have a wall nearby, turn around and use a wall for this one. So we're going to do Natrajasana. So you're going to reach for your right hand, your right ankle. Right hand reaches for right ankle, left arm to the sky. And again, you could turn around and use a wall if you have the wall close by. You could, Lena, I would face the wall. Just face your body to it. Yeah, that's good. That's it. There you go. And it's a nice way then to lean in. Now lean forward. Lean forward. Keep that navel in. So I'm going to give you a little wackadoodly idea here. Keep holding your ankle and lower your left hand all the way down to the floor. If you're on the wall, stay. Yeah. Try. Don't think. Lower that left hand all the way down to the block. Yep. And then open up, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, Chapasana. Open that right hip up. Look to your right. Yes. Yahoo! Release down, come all the way back up. Don't use the mind to do some of these things, please. It doesn't work. Try the other side. Now you know where you're going, so don't get crazy. Don't go right there. Start with Natrajasana. Take that thigh back. Keep that rib cage in. Lean forward. Nice. Maybe take your right hand down to the floor. Just stay where you are. Don't listen to me any longer. You have your hand on the floor, try to open that hip. Nice, Diane. Yes, Meredith. And release. Good. Turn your feet wide. If you're at a wall, come back to the front of your mat and come into squat. If you need to be up on your heels, you can be on your toes. And then come all the way down to sit, bringing the soles of your feet together. This is where a blanket might be nice underneath your seat. Feet together and walk your hands forward any amount. Enjoy your breath here. Beautiful. Rise up and take your feet nice and wide. Walk your hands forward. And taking that right arm inside that right leg, side stretch over to the right. Again, just revealing how much more breath you can create by expanding that side body. Go to the other side. And then walk yourself back to the center and just see if you gain just a little bit more space. Walk your hands forward once again. Maybe your forehead on a block would be nice. Good. Inhale, come on up. Stretch your legs back together. Bend your right knee. Send it out to the right. And again, twisting slightly to the left, just lean forward, Janu Shirshasana. Notice what it feels like to almost turn even more toward that left leg. It's an interesting side stretch where you can almost get your right arm to the other side of your left and then take your left arm over your ear. A little side stretching. Yep. Keep your seat on the floor though. Don't lift up your butt. And then from there, just turn and face your leg again and just see if you can move a little bit deeper. And remember, deeper can mean a deeper breath. It can mean your mind becomes calmer. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have more stretch in the hamstrings. Good. Inhale, come on up, and let's change sides. And take a little twisting over toward the right. Just keep churning. I like to think of I'm turning and churning my belly. I'm turning and churning my belly to the right. Means you have to kind of empty out that low belly. And if I can get that left arm over to the other side of the right leg, I'm going to take the right arm over the ear and side stretch. And then let yourself fall over that right leg one more time. Beautiful. And then rise up. You can take that left knee and just lift it up and stack it on the other side of your right leg for twist. You're going to twist to the left. You're twisting in the same direction as that lifted knee. Pull your body forward. Again, empty out your low belly. So pull up from the low belly. Get the sit bones to move back and wide. You want to keep that space at the low back. Good. And then this is interesting. Turn forward and just let that left knee stack on top of your right knee. So pull that foot, no, keep the extended leg where it is. That left heel comes back by your outer hip, correct? It's like half Gomukhasana. Yep. And then see if you can bring your chin to your knee. So reach forward into a forward bend. And some of you just come forward a little bit. Remember, take those sit bones wide. Good. Come on up. Extend that left leg and bring your right knee up. Right foot on the opposite side, twisting to your right. Enjoying your breath. And just feeling twisting from the center. Come back, lower that knee on top of knee. And then lean forward any amount. As you rise up, extend both legs out in front of you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to go upside down. You can put your legs up the wall, just scoot your butt over to a wall, put your legs up the wall, or lay on your back and come into shoulder stand, lifting your hips to the sky. Or maybe lay on your back and just take your legs to the sky, not even lifting your hips up. So scoot over to the wall, put your legs up the wall, or come into shoulder stand. You can lie on your back. So Jenna, listen to me, listen to my suggestions. Yeah, so you can do that or just take your legs up. You don't even have to lift your hips up, just take your legs up. Yeah, right like that. And if it feels more comfortable, you can go to the wall and do that. So your legs are on the wall. You just put your hips to the wall. Yeah, yeah. Shimmy all the way up to the wall. You'll be here one more minute, wherever you are. Kind of fun to find yourself upside down and returning to your center. And then begin to bring yourself back down from any inversion that you are in. If you were in headstand, come into child's pose. If you were in shoulder stand, just hug your knees into your chest and roll your head from side to side. And then we're going to come up to sit. We'll come up to meditate together. So find a comfortable cross-legged seat. If you'd like to bring your thumb and first finger to touch, Jnana Mudra, Mudra of wisdom, releasing that onto your lap if you'd like. Closing your eyes. So each time that we return to our center, what we ask and bring is all the directions of water, fire, earth, and air. Everything that surrounds us always draws us back to our center. So first we call on the east. It's our clarity, our illumination. It's our breath, it's our air, helping us to be guided back to our center. We call on the fire of the south for illumination, for burning through any deception, any of those places that are untrue. We call on the energy of water, which is west, which is compassion, magical wisdom, helping us with our cooling responsiveness to life. We call on the earth for all the stories that the earth tells us, all of the stories it has to share, the ancient ones and ancestors. Call on above and below, the winged ones, the wild ones, the angelic forces, and that which is below us, always percolating with newness, the void, the darkness. And from these different elements, these different directions, we return to our center. We bring all of these places to that one point, the bindi. See within yourself if you can find for just a couple of moments that center and breathe there. You can stay here or lie down on your back for Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Let your body begin to stretch and yawn in any way that serves you well. If you're lying on your back, hug your knees into your chest. Roll up to sit. Some of you are new to our closing chant, so just listen. Bringing your hands to your heart center and sliding your hands to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. We hope you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Make it great. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Sheryl.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
Great
You're
class.
welcome.